Hey, okay,
Hey,
here we are.
live up there. Cool.
We are live. All right, so uh, ready to start my next Meet the Innovator video blog, and I'm linking live all the way to the UK right now. It's coming up to about 10 in the evening here, and I'm sure the sun has just risen over there, or just rising. We've got Bryn Llewellyn from tagtiv8 over in the UK. How are you doing, Bryn?
I'm good, thanks, Brett. It's probably 11 o'clock, yeah, just come up for 11 o'clock now. Probably a chilly 9 degrees here, whereas you've probably got, I don't know, 20 odd plus at 9:30 at night, 10 o'clock at night. So
Funny you say
I
that because
think
I'm
you've
just
got the
looking at
better
the
deal.
phone up.
But,
27.4, 24.7,
cool.
and at coming on to 10 o'clock at night. So,
Okay, right. Let's chat, and then you can hit the sack. Okay.
all right. Actually, well, you're here for a very important reason because I met you when you came out to Australia not too long ago, and we got to have a little bit of a quiet ale at a lovely establishment, and you told me all about this tagtivate uh, phenomena that you're working in, and you just seem so passionate and very passionate about many things in education. And I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about your passions. What drives you?
Okay. What drives me? Lots of things. I used to be a teacher, and then I was a teacher and a teacher and a deputy head teacher, and during that time, I noticed a change in the children in terms of their levels of fitness. And I think a lot of it was down to the fact that in the UK there was this big cosh hitting the head teachers in terms of literacy standards and numeracy standards. And it was
Mm.
just a case of, yeah, I understand that, but children need to play, they need to be creative, they need to be active. And it was then that I decided that I wanted to take a little bit of time out of the school setting and do some writing, do some curriculum development work for others. And during that time, I was writing some material for Mathletics and a company called Evolve, who put health mentors into schools. Great, great company. And it was during that time that I decided to develop the games of active learning. So it was just like purely try to get the children to be more active in their learning. I've always had a thing about connections in terms of connecting one session to the next, not just with tagtiv8, but in the learning. And so a lot of my work would be curriculum based, but topic based, and making the links. I met up with a girl the other day that I used to teach, and she said, "You know what, sir? You used to bang on all the time about connections, making a connection between one lesson and the next, one subject and the next." She says, "I didn't get it at the time, but now I get it." And it's kind of like a delayed reaction for her, but now she can see the link in terms of everything that goes on, and that's what we should be doing, making the links between the learning, making it fun, making it active. And I don't think the UK is in a good situation to do that at the moment. So,
Now, it's funny you say that because one of the things I've noticed with when I'm connecting with people all over the world, we're all as educators trying to do the same thing, and it's quite
yeah.
surprising how often we have the same sort of stumbling blocks and the same hurdles that we need to get over, and activity, student activity, and that's one of the things that's plaguing a lot of the Western world at the moment. So you mentioned there before. I love that you said you bumped into a girl that you used to teach, and now she's making all those connections. It's a
Mm.
beautiful little metaphor because that's what we do so often in teaching, isn't it? We plant these little seeds, and we don't always see these seeds grow uh, into what they turn into. But we hope that we plant the seed, we nurture, and that growth sort of happens. And sounds like that's what happened for that girl there.
Oh yeah, and it's all about like the like-minded souls and trying like it works with adults as well. I was doing a session the other day down in Buckinghamshire, and it was a big PE conference and event. So I was delivering some sessions there to 22 people, and just out of interest, I asked the question: how many of you guys are in Twitter? How many people use Twitter for CPD? And out of 22 people who were doing the active session, only 2 people were doing Twitter.
Yeah.
Only 2 out of 22. And sometimes when you talk to yourselves and people like Urban Teacher and Tony Parker and Dawn Hallibone and all the Twitterati and what have you, you sometimes forget that not everybody's connected in that way. So it was quite funny. As a result of that, I was approached by a person who's just joined Twitter, a young PE teacher down in Buckinghamshire, and he's now following me, and he's made the links to the other people in the world of PE and Twitter just purely on the basis of a conversation during an active learning session. So it's like, yeah, we're learning, we're making those connections all the time.
That's right, and that's the key to success and being lifelong learners and becoming better educators because of it. Now, one of the reasons why I really wanted to connect with you today was to find out a little bit more about exactly what tagtiv8 is.
Okay.
And I'm hoping you can give us a bit of a blurb now, and I know it might be hard because it's so huge and you've worked on it for so long, but I wonder if you can help us understand.
Yeah, as I said, in the UK, schools have to go through this system in terms of raising standards, which I agree with, but just the way that they do it in terms of most of the mornings in the primary school are dedicated to literacy and numeracy and phonics and guided reading, which I get, but the fact that they're sitting down all the time, missing out on active learning, running around, playing, enjoying, creating games, etc. That's why tagtiv8 came along. So, for example, we've got tagtiv8 number, tagtiv8 word, which is just about to be launched in Easter, but the number games are the ones that we're really developing at the moment. So the idea, one of the games, is using tag rugby, which is probably just as big over in Australia as it is over here in the UK.
We call it OzTag. We call it OzTag here.
Okay, cool. And I know in the States they've got flag football, which is their equivalent. So say the number version, the children wear the belts and they wear the tags. The tags have got numbers on, so all of the yellow tags are the odd numbers, all of the red tags are the even numbers. You've got blue tags as well, which are the operations. So the children have this active game and grab as many tags as they can. They go back to their teams and they get given a mathematical problem to solve. So it could be multiples of 10, it could be matching doubles, halves and quarters, it could be total targets, number bonds, and the children develop their own scoring systems. And then the beauty of it is the teachers sometimes discover things that the children didn't demonstrate in the classroom, but they demonstrate in the sports hall or the multi-use games area or the playground or the playing field that they wouldn't necessarily do in the classroom. And it's always good when the teacher says, "Didn't know he could do that." Yeah. What do you mean? And it just gives children a chance to I think once they get into that zone of physical activity and they're running and they're dodging and they're weaving and they're grabbing the tags and the conversations flow in a different way that they would back in the classroom around a desk. So, as I say, the number version's out there. I created like a set number of games, and I thought I'd create something cool. And then we played the games with children who were 11, and they pulled it to pieces. And it was kind of like disheartening, having your little baby ripped apart, as it were. But they gave us some great ideas on how to move it forward. And now we've got 32 number games out there, and I reckon only 8 of them have been devised by myself. The rest of them have been created by teachers and their students. So the teachers and the students have the kit that they play with. They play the initial games, and then they go away and create their own games and send me, the rules and the scoring systems. I put it online, and you get kids in London saying, "Whoa, look, they're playing our game in Birmingham." We get the kids in Birmingham saying, "Look, they're playing our game in Newcastle." And I'm hopefully going to say some down the line, we're going to say, the children in the UK saying, "Whoa, they're playing our game in Australia." And likewise, the children in Adelaide will be saying the same about the children elsewhere in the world. So it's about developing creativity as well. It's about the physicality, it's about the cognitive element, and it's about the creativity. And yourself, if you create something, you share it online, and you can know that there's an audience, well, you walk a little bit taller as a result of it. So that's, yeah.
Well, that's a beautiful way to describe it there too, like being able to connect and being able to grow. Oh, just hit a glitch.
A little one.
Here we are. We're all back now. So I was going to ask you. You said you were sort of busy developing a lot of resources, and if someone is interested in sort of engaging with tagtiv8, obviously you're set up on the other side of the world, but we can still reach out and connect with you. So I'm assuming all we connect with online, and you've got a website and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, the website's all there, and the kit's basically ready to roll. In fact, there's one bag of number tags heading your way now as we speak.
Looking forward to it.
It's going to be great for you guys in terms of the Aussie Ed team to go and play and just explore. And, you know, you might see something in the game that I've not seen, play with it, enjoy it, get the feedback from the learners, and just like get it out there to the rest of the world so that they can play the games as well. Did one session. I've got to tell you this. There's a school in Bradford called Greengates Primary School, and this is a school that was under the cosh from the Ofsted team and the authorities as a result of it. And they've got a forest school, and a forest school seems really grand, but basically it's a field with trees in it next to the school. And the head teacher there is awesome. And he's got a teacher there who does like forest schools work. So basically, it's probably about 60 trees in a field, and it's a really not exactly the nicest area of Bradford, but it does. So basically, we got the children with the belts, and the children went into the woods, took their belts off, fastened them around the trees, and then they got the tags. One team was the red team, one team was the yellow. The red team hid their tags in the trees. The yellow team hid their tags in the trees. And then we came back and we split them up into smaller teams. So your team would be the multiples of 2, Jenna's team would be the multiples of 3, Kat's team would be the multiple of 4, etc. And then we'd all have to go into the woods and find our multiples. So of course, if you're going to go for the 2s and Kat's going to go for the number 4s, when you go for number 8, it's going to be like, oh, hang on a moment, what's going to come in here? The tactics and the strategy. We came back, and the children going like, but sir, because they still call me sir, which is kind of weird. But they said, sir, there's still numbers left in the trees. I says, well, that's a bit strange. Let's go and find out what they were. And of course, we go into the forest, and we get the tags that are still up there. And why are these numbers not being claimed? Why has Team 5 not got these numbers? And they said, oh, they're not in the 5s, they're not in the 4s, not in the 6s. And it was just a case of they devised this way of like working out what the prime numbers were. And again, that just came through the creativity of a teacher willing to let go and play. And basically, she'd been given that permission by the head teacher to go away and play. And that's what you do as a teacher. Well, that's what I used to love doing as a teacher, playing. And if you fall flat on your face, so be it. You learn from your mistakes and move on. So, bit of an amazing run there. Sorry about that, Brett. Okay.
Oh, we just had another little glitch. I was going to say, it's quite often those little incidentals, those times that you don't expect, that can be some of the most powerful teaching moments.
Oh yeah, a child will not necessarily remember a worksheet or a PowerPoint, but if you tapped into something emotionally, whether or not it's via sport or physical activity or music or the arts, that it resonates, doesn't it? And you remember it more as a result of that. So
that's it. Well, look, thank you for letting me be able to connect with you today, and I am really, really looking forward to being able to get my hands on the kit that's coming my way and get in there and get the students in my class. And I know I've already spoken to the other teachers at my school, and I've got a big group of teachers very excited to have a bit of a play.
Yeah.
And I suppose I'm looking forward to that, but I'd like to ask you one thing, and I know it wasn't something that I sort of prepared you for. It wasn't something that I actually gave you a warning that I was going to ask you. It just came to me as...
At this point, I'm walking out.
I was going to say, because you are a passionate person, and you believe in what you're achieving, I was going to say to you, if you could send a message, we're on the other side of the world here. If you could send a message to the teachers who are going to use your tagtiv8 sort of concept, your tagtiv8 idea, your tagtiv8 product, what message would you want to send to those teachers? What are you hoping to gain?
Oh, just play, create, enjoy, listen to the children, listen to the learners, get their feedback, get them to create their own games, their own scoring systems, their own rules, make learning fun, make learning fun, make it active, as I said, we've got a huge threat of, it's not just like the problems of obesity and the costs to the National Health Service, but it's about inactivity as well. It's about making sure that the children are physically active. I love technology. I love it to bits, and the way that I'm connecting with people like, Night Zookeeper or Class Dojo or all those awesome people like Zondel. I'm just aware of the fact that children are sitting down and they're spending too long sitting down, and they need to be out there and being active. And it's just like, what one of the head teachers said to me about tagtiv8, it's about reclaiming the sports hall, not just for PE, but literacy and numeracy. And I would add to that in terms of, it's bringing creativity back in as well. So play, enjoy, and let me know how it goes. Yeah.
I'd love to, and I'm looking forward to getting involved. And I'd like to say a big thank you to yourself for taking time out of your day and connecting with me now. And I'm looking forward to be able to hearing a little bit more and giving you a bit of feedback on how tagtiv8 goes with us over here in Australia.
Okay, and can I just say a big thank you to yourself and the Aussie Ed team. You've brightened up many a teacher in the UK's Sunday mornings. In the past, Sunday mornings would be dedicated to planning, seriously, and nowadays you're getting teachers who are getting sidetracked by these wonderful conversations out there, and it's fantastic to see. And you said about connections before. This is overrunning, I know, but I'll just tell you this. When I visited you guys in Australia, I then went on to New Zealand and joined into a Twitter conversation there with Inspired Ed. So it's India, Nepal, and New Zealand, having this conversation, and they said, "What are you doing joining in a conversation? It's 4 o'clock in the UK." I says, "Well, actually, I'm in Auckland." This teacher gets in touch with me and says, "I'm in Auckland. Come on, I'm taking you out for an ice cream." And that was it. She came around, fed the children, okayed it, came down, met me, took me out for an ice cream. And it was just that connection. Next time I was back in Auckland, she arranged another meetup with another teacher from Hong Kong. And it's about those connections, those conversations, those ideas. And yeah, it's reaffirming to know that people are out there, like-minded souls, who'll challenge you, question you, support you, and play. Go. Yeah, that's it.
Magic words, and Bryn, thank you very much for joining us today.
Cool. Enjoy your evening, what's left of it, and we'll talk later on. Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. Take care, now, Brett. Bye.